Packer and Durham, the Hounds, they await. Because at the top of the hour, they can go out in the rain. But right now, West Durham, we're going back to New York City.
Hubert Davis, coach of the Tar Heels, played in this event, been on the bench for many years in this event. He won this event and now takes the floor tomorrow night. He's the head coach in this event and joins us from New York. Coach, good morning. How are we?
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good. I said this going to break a moment ago. Saturday became such a thing, and rightly so for your team on a great win at Durham. How do you process it to get ready for this event?
Well, I mean, we approached Saturday as even though it was UNC Duke game, we approached it as another game and another game for us to compete, another game for us to improve and get better, and that's how we process that. Now we have an opportunity to be in this tournament, and whomever we play on Thursday night is going to be an unbelievable team and challenge for us. But we're excited about that challenge, and we're excited about the opportunity to be a part of this tournament and have a chance to win a championship.
Coach, I guarantee you would sign up for that team that played Saturday night. The toughness, the mental toughness, number one in the building, the physical toughness. Man, the guards were great. Baycott's giving you the double-double. Mannix making threes. I'm sure that's exactly what you were looking for with this basketball team on a consistent basis all season long.
Well, everyone played extremely well on Saturday, but, the thing that I'm extremely proud of this group is not just – it's not about Saturday. It's about this season. I'm so proud of how tough and resilient this group has been. It's a team of perseverance. And so for these group of guys to, every time that they got knocked down this year, they consistently got back up and competed and got back up and fought. And, a month and a half ago, after we lost back-to-back games to Miami and Wake Forest, since that time, we've won, 11 out of 13. And that's because of the players. That's because of their toughness. That's because of their hard work and their perseverance. So it's not about this past Saturday. It's about this season. And I can't be more proud of a group than the one that I'm coaching. I love these guys.
I was reminded after watching your post-game comments the other night of a phrase Coach Smith used years and years ago. It was the first time I heard it, but it clicked back for some reason, and that is success is not a destination but a constant journey. And I can't remember exactly when I heard him say it. I want to say it was right around the middle 80s. Is that the message you've given to your team, so to speak, as the year's gone on?
Well, we have a number of team goals that we talked about at the beginning of the year that we want to achieve. But one of the things that we always talk about is not look at the end result. We want to focus on the preparation and the process and the practice, and that's been my message to them all year. Is that if we prepare to the best of our ability, if we practice to the best of our ability, at the end of the day, the play will take care of itself. And, I consistently, especially the last week, was just telling them to focus on the things that are right in front of us and ignore all the sideshow distractions and just keep your eyes straight ahead. I just kept giving them, Proverbs 4:25 that, there's a lot of noise here and there, good or bad, but what you need to focus on is what's right in front of you, what you can control, and do the best that you can do to play the best that you can be.
Hubert, it's the ACC tournament. What's this mean to you?
It means a lot to me. The ACC tournament is something that I grew up on, knowing my uncle, played at North Carolina and was, an All-American from 74 through 77. And my greatest memories of growing up was going to the ACC tournament and cheering on my uncle. And I just remember a time where the ACC tournament was so big that it would be an excused absence from school. And if you did go to school, the teachers would roll in a TV and you could watch starting at noon. You can watch the ACC during school. And so it's always been a big deal to me. It's a big deal to me now. It's an honor and a privilege to be a part of this tournament.
All right. What's your favorite memory going to watch Walter play, and what's your favorite memory from playing in the event?
My favorite memory, they actually lost, but they played the ACC tournament at the Capitol Center in Andover, Maryland. And so I just remember how close the ACC tournament was, and, just being able to support Uncle Walt and be there and for that entire tournament. My favorite moment was probably two of them. Is my freshman year. We won the ACC tournament in Atlanta, and it was a big deal for me because I felt so bad for our seniors, Jeff Lebo, Steve Bucknell, because they lost their last home game as a senior. And it meant a lot to me for them to win a championship and see the smile on their face. And in the same way, it meant a lot to me for Rick Fox and Pete Chilcutt and King Rice to win a championship when we won it in '91 because they had lost their last game in the Smith Center during the regular season. So those two were really special to me because of what we were able to do for our seniors.
Hubert, we had Tyler Hansbrough on the show yesterday, and he was giving us some play-by-play of his Saturday night watching your boys take care of Coach K and Duke. I'm just curious if you could share anything with us that you heard from maybe Roy Williams or some other esteemed cohorts after the win Saturday night.
No, it was an emotional night. The thing that I took from that night, a number of things, but after we won and we went through and got to the locker room, they were interviewing a couple of the players, and so outside the locker room, I was just collecting my thoughts, and then Armando came in and he just broke down and started crying. And we just hugged for over a minute, and he was just bawling, crying. And then Brady came in, he was crying, and so he joined the hug. And then Leakey came in, he was crying, he joined the hug. And then same thing with RJ. So we had 5 people here just hugging each other, crying. And, the thing that I was so happy for was that, our guys had their own experience, their own testimony, their own stories of being in big-time games and situations, with that Carolina uniform on. And, they heard so many testimonies and stories and memories from me and, Coach May and Coach Lebo and Coach Sullivan and Coach Frederick. Now they have their own stories. Now they have their own testimonies. Now they have their own memories. And just to be able to have that front row seat, to be able to see them experience what all of us have experienced as players was very humbling, very a position of thankfulness, and it was a really special moment.
It's also one that a lot of people can build from. And you've already mentioned the process of game to game. Since you've arrived in New York, what kind of preparation takes you to tomorrow night rather, to play? Do you try and keep it as normal as possible, even though you're in another city and you're a day ahead of what your normal schedule would be?
Yeah, everything is the same. Our preparation for last week is the same. I don't believe in, changing things up because you're playing a certain opponent, or change things up because now you're in the ACC tournament or the NCAA tournament. Every day you just show up and do the normal things consistently well every day and see how much you can improve. And I've always felt that way for me personally and as a basketball player and as a team. And I think that's the best way to prepare ourselves. And that's the way that we're going to approach this tournament. And as I said before, we're really excited about this chance and this opportunity. And we've got one more day of preparation, and we'll be ready to go tomorrow night.
Hey, by the way, any old lunch haunts up there from the Nick days that you get to call sandwich orders out for today?
I do. This brings back such great memories.
I bet.
I was the only player that lived in the city. Everybody else lived up. Our practice facility was up at SUNY Purchase, right outside of White, New York. And so everybody lived up in Greenwich, Connecticut, Stamford, Connecticut, White Plains, and I wanted to live in a city. So I lived on 96th Street between 3rd and Lex, and I just absolutely loved it. So, all the traffic was coming in, and I was driving the FDR and the Hutch up to practice, and it was a great 4 years. And
all right. Thanks, Coach.
Awesome.
Sorry, we got to run to the top of the hour. I asked one too many. That one's on me. Full show tomorrow. We get you ready for quarterfinal Thursday at the ACC tournament. We're live from Brooklyn on Friday. Mr. Packer, have a nice day. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. for another edition of Packer and Durham.